Hey everyone, welcome to the. Sorry, I'm getting all confused, and I know why. It's because I'd left the. I'd opened up the live on YouTube just to pop out my stream chat, and I started to hear the audio from the thing. Um, Never mind. Sorted now. Hi, we are live. How is everyone doing? I say everyone, I can only see Jackie, Crystal Moon, and Redwing in the chat. So hi to you guys. I hope you're doing okay. What's everyone drinking? I've actually got a wee Starbucks because I went to pick my husband up in town. He was seeing a friend in town, and I picked him up just like I don't know, maybe an hour ago or something. And I've still got some of my coffee left. Simon's here. He says, Simon, I saw that you were at Rocky Horror. I'm well jealous. I hope that you're enjoying it. I wonder if I take it it'll be the same. So I went to see it in, I don't know, at some point in the first half of the year, I think. But I'm assuming it'll be the same kind of a act that's just working its way through the UK. If so, enjoy. I hope you enjoy it as much as we did because we thought it was really good. We took my friend Robbie to see it, and it was his first time. That reminds me actually. He is flying back from Mykonos today, and I need to message him to see how his journey's going. Don't mind me whilst I text at inappropriate times. But yeah, we loved it, so I hope that you're enjoying it as well. Thank you for popping in to say hi. What's everyone else drinking? I've got a white chocolate mocha. A white chocolate mocha, with 3 shots of espresso. I probably shouldn't be drinking that at this time. And oat milk. And no whipped cream. They always offer me the vegan whipped cream, but I just don't really tend to go for it. I think the coffee's nice enough with the white chocolate stuff and all that. It doesn't need any cream on top. And do you find that does anyone who like gets drinks from like Starbucks and Costa and stuff like that? See, even if you do get whipped cream, once you put this lid on, there's no point because it just all kind of melts into the coffee and you can barely taste the difference. I think. Redwing's drinking decaf coffee. Jackie has water next to her at all times. Chilling, sitting up in bed now to watch this. Oh well. Whereabouts are you, Jackie? Are you in the UK? If you're in bed at this time. Has everyone had a good week? I've had an okay week. I'm glad it's the weekend. It's a long weekend because I'm off on Monday. Jackie's in Ireland, right? Okay, so same time zone as me. So yeah, I'm kind of jealous that you're sitting in bed. Actually, that's terrible. I say that like I don't want to be here. I do. I love being here. But I don't know. I just like this week. During the week, usually I go to my bed nice and early, and I'll stick on. I've been watching Will and Grace. I've got all the Will and Grace DVDs and I've seen them all a million times, but this will be like a million and one. Just watching them again. So yeah, bed's nice and early, maybe about 8:30, 9ish. Cup of decaf tea, maybe some snacks if I'm feeling snackish, and just stick on some Will and Grace. The the Ahsoka series has just came out on Disney Plus as well. So we watched the first episode yesterday, and we've still got the second episode there to watch. Has anyone else watched it? And what do we think of it? I know I've got a very limited audience right now. You guys might not be Star Wars fans. But yeah, if anyone who's watching as a Star Wars fan and you've seen the new Ahsoka, then message me. I want to hear what you think. I thought I would share some of my artwork today. A couple of months ago, I got into painting. Most of you probably know this because I've done a couple of lives where I've just painted. You can kind of actually see one of my paintings behind me. And that's the one. This is the one that we did last week. So I wanted to. I've posted it on Instagram and on the Facebook groups where I posted that I was doing the live. I posted a picture of the finished, the finished painting. So yeah, I wanted to kind of just share with you the finished result for anyone who's not seen it. So right, a couple of more people have popped in. So let me say hi. So we've seen Jackie, we've seen Red Wing. We've also got Donna back in France for 3 weeks. So happy to be here, and of course, red wine for me. Oh, drinking red wine, very fancy, Donna. Hope you're enjoying that. Robin from Toadstool Tarot's here. Hi, Robin. Get Debbie from Aquarius Owl, who is listening while she commutes home. I hope your eyes are doing okay, Debbie. I know you had a tough time of it last week. You were having to watch with one eye. So yeah, anyway, my painting. So let me just share the table. Right, we're zoomed in just now. So this is so when I went live last Thursday, it was the 17th of August, which is Rachel Pollock's birthday. Rachel, who we all know and love, and who sadly passed away earlier this year. So I wanted to do a wee something to, I don't know, just to honour her. So I thought I would paint something just inspired by her art. And this is her High Priestess from her Shine and Tribe Tarot. So yeah, this is what I based my painting on. There are aspects that I kept the same, and there are aspects that I changed. So let me just zoom out, and I'll try and show you the painting. It's quite big. It's the only thing. It's like 16 by 20 inches. But let me just zoom here. So this is the. Oh, you can kind of see it all there. Actually, that's quite good. What if I just lay it down? Yeah, perfect. I'll put the card there. So yeah, you can see that I tried. I really liked how, and I was talking about this whilst I was painting. Zola, come and say hi. Come and say hi. Zola always jumps up on me, and this is like the one time she's not jumped up on me. She's a pure daddy's girl. I thought it might be nice to be used to meet her. Come on, hold up. Come on, see me. Come on. Come on. Okay, what if I turn around like this? The only time she doesn't jump up at me to get my attention. Anyway, I was talking about this last week. So the cloak, I love how it's the light blue and the light pink, which is light blue, light pink, and white are the colours of the trans flag. And then if you look at the snake, it's I'll hold it closer. It's yellow and purple, which is the yellow, purple, black, and white are the non-binary flag colours, and then the intersex flag is a kind of a yellow background with a purple circle. Now, when Rachel created this deck, I've not looked it up, but I'm doubtful that the trans flag and the intersex flag were even a thing. I could be completely wrong. They could have been a thing for years and years and years, and I've just not really known about it. But I'm not even. I'm kind of a doubtful that is what's kind of inspired her to use these colours. But because they were, because I recognised that in it, and because I thought it was really nice, I wanted to keep that. So I kept the cloak the same colour. I kept the snake the same colours. The yellow with the kind of a purple stripes. You can see that I've kind of gone over the. So I don't know if you can remember where we left it last week, but I've kind of gone over the cloak, the blues, and the cloak a bit. I felt it needed to be a wee bit more wavy. Everything felt too straight, and it's a cloak that's meant to be kind of, I guess, blowing in the wind, moving about, in motion. So I just wanted to give things a wee bit more of that motion. And I feel we've kind of done that. The outsides are still a wee bit too uniform, probably, but it is what it is. I've added on the kind of a cowrie shells. They almost look like they're supposed to be dreadlocks or hair. So I've added them in. Now, in Rachel's card, they're a kind of I think they're a bluish colour. But I decided to paint them the colour of actual cowrie shells. So that's kind of a whitish, brownish, off-white kind of a colour with the dark. They've kind of got a dark line down the centre. Excuse me, I keep sniffing. What else? I added the fish as well. So I decided to paint a koi fish. So yeah, I found a kind of a tutorial online that helped me with how to paint the koi fish. So that's why the koi fish probably looks like the best thing on the painting. Added a wee bit of, so if you look at the yellows on the snake, there's a wee bit of a highlight down the centre of its body. Obviously added the purple stripes, and I also gave it some eyes as well. But yeah, that is the finished product. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'll maybe just hang it up in this room. Actually, that'd be quite nice. But yeah, I'm pleased with the finished result. So yeah, like I say, I just wanted to share that and let you see because I'm conscious that I had to stop partway through last week, which is a bit annoying. So let me zoom this back in. There we go. So yeah. Ooh, we are. The chat skipped a wee bit. Okay, I saw Debbie saying listening while I commute home. People saying that Debbie. Oh, here we go. Right, Robin. I saw Ahsoka and thought it was okay, even though I'm not particularly a Star Wars fan. Oh, nice. I'm glad you watched it, Robin. Yeah, I'm a big Ahsoka fan because I loved the Star Wars Clone Wars series, and I just thought that she was a brilliant character. I was quite surprised that I took to her so, I liked her so much because she was obviously a different character that they had introduced away from the films just to kind of make give the Clone Wars series a bit of an edge. So I wasn't sure if I was going to like her that much, but she's just such a brilliant character, and I've loved kind of following her through like the Rebels series, and she's made appearances in I think it was with Boba Fett and stuff like that. So anyway, yeah. So there was that, but yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed that. Jeffrey's here. Hi, Jeffrey. How are you? Happy to be able to catch one. Oh, that's very sweet. It's lovely to see you, Jeffrey. I hope you're doing okay. Tony is here. Evening. Have you a walkthrough of the Shining Tribe? I think I have. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have. I would need to check. The Shining Tribe is one of those decks that I was hesitant to do a walkthrough of simply because it's a very kind of a deep deck. It's one that I want to dive right into and like kind of study really in depth. So I was initially hesitant to do a walkthrough because I didn't want to just do, I didn't want to half-arse it basically. But I think what I've done is I've just done a flip through of it. I've maybe done that around about the time that Rachel. I think it might have been when we were raising money for Rachel when she was kind of like going through care and stuff. I can't remember, but think I did around about that time. If you'll excuse me, I am going to mute, get the camera away from myself, and I'm going to sort myself out because otherwise I'm going to be sniffing this entire time. Right, we're presentable, we're sorted. Apologies. Oh, thank you very much, Jackie and Donna. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. You know, it is. I'll be honest. It's not like I would have loved to have done a much better job of it. Like I would love if the snake was a wee bit more realistic looking. I would have loved to have done a better job with the cloak. I just feel like I'm happy with the fish. You know, I think that looks quite almost realistic. But yeah, just there's certain aspects of it where I feel like they they aren't quite as good as I wanted them to be. But nonetheless, I mean, it's really nice colours. I think it's it's recognisable. Well, recognisable to us because we know where it's from. Um, so yeah, I'm happy with it, and I did it for obviously to honour Rachel. Hi, Richie, how you doing? Thank you, Robin. Oh, thank you, Jeffrey. Let me think. That only leaves 75 more for a day. Jeff, well, actually, is probably less now. I've actually got some other paintings that I can share here if you want to see them. I have done a fair few now. I've just not necessarily kind of done them all online or showed them all. But I did one the other day. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was last night. I did it last night. So I can share that. Robin says, "Why is it common for our voices to always pitch higher when talking to animals and small children?" I don't know. Oh, is that this when I was talking to Sola? Um, there's probably a biological reason for it with children, but I don't know what it is. Robin says, Donna. Malamir says, just saying hi, but won't be reading anyone's comments because reading makes the vertical worse, and I can't figure out the accessibility feature on my phone for reading comments here. Oh, that's a shame, Malamir. I'm sorry to hear that you're still struggling with that, but it's lovely to see you. Donna says, love your rendition, Chris. How long did it take? How long did you end? Sorry, how long ago did you take up painting? Right, sorry. Gosh, it was a couple of months ago now. It was when we were off. It was when we were off for Sandy's birthday actually, so it was the start of June. So how long is that? 6, 7, 8. That's coming up 3 months ago. So it is. So it's been a few months, but I'm loving it. It's just nice to usually I'm happy with this with what I've done, but see, even if it turns out a bit shit, it's a relaxing process. It's a fun process, and like every time I do something, I feel as though I'm getting a wee bit better and learning something new. There's certain things that I feel as though I'm just rubbish at, like blending colours and working out kind of a like light and shadow. I'm not the best at doing that, but I'm getting better every time, and I'm really enjoying it. Thank you, Marita, and hi, how are you doing? Jonathan, hi there. Thank you very much. Jonathan saw Ahsoka and loved seeing the characters from Rebels in live action. I know it was really good. I've only seen the first episode. Ended really dramatically, by the way. But yeah, it was really nice. I'm hoping that there's more we see more of Ezra. I'm kind of really hoping that something more comes of that. Because I liked him as a character as well. Robin enjoyed Mandalorian and Boba Fett, but didn't like Andor. Do you know that's funny? I've not watched Andor, and I don't really fancy it. It's just something I don't know. Tony's not got a clue what Ahsoka is or Star Wars. Jonathan's not feeling great either. Not feeling great, so can't tag you all. I'm sorry to hear that, Jonathan. I hope you're doing okay. Marita's asking, did he overdo it at the gym? Jonathan at the gym getting the big muscles. Had to stop my workout because I was getting too lightheaded. Don't think that I'm over my bout with COVID. Oh, sorry to hear that, Jonathan. The snake is cute. And you like the fish. Yeah, I'm quite happy with the fish as well. I paint too, and I'm always my own worst critic. Yeah, same. I'm my own worst critic in everything, though. It's not just a painting thing, it's just a me thing. I don't know if you find you're the same, Donna. But yeah, I can really get in my head something awful sometimes. I'm conscious this microphone's like right in the way. Why don't we shift that? Yeah, that's a wee bit better, isn't it? It's not like covering half my face. Or maybe it was a nice relief to not have to look at half my face for a change. Let's see. Yeah, Marita's saying to Jonathan, there are lingering effects. Please be careful. Children's voices are pitched higher. We're just trying to relate. Jonathan's going to be semi-lurking. He's making some eggs. Very nice. I think we'll learn how pets respond to our voices. Every dog that I've had the privilege to have has responded favourably to baby talk. They respond differently to our voices. So when I'm talking to my girls, usually I'll change my voice depending on the message that I'm putting across. So if it's like good girls and I'm being like trying to convey that I'm happy with them, then my voice would tend to be a bit higher. If they're getting told off, then my voice would tend to go lower, and the more they're getting told off, the lower my voice tends to go. I think that's something that we tend to do anyway, not just with kids and dogs, just in general, but we're maybe not as conscious of it when we're speaking to adults. But yeah, that tends to be, and that they seem to respond well to that. They can always tell when I'm not happy with them, which is good because there's times like, for example, today, when I'm working here, so Sandy works in the office on a Thursday, so I've got them myself. I need to be able to just shout girls and for them to stop messing about or doing whatever it is they're doing. So yeah, they kind of know when they're getting a row because of the tone of my voice. I'm good. Just made a set of 3 bracelets out of 4 that were too tight. Oh, that's a shame. Would you be able to kind of rework them, Marita, so that they fit? Enjoying doing your artwork is good. Don't worry about the outcome. Yeah, exactly. When I was in college and painting, I lost weight due to the long hours of focused effort at a canvas, keeping me from snacking. That's another advantage of it, actually, is like I was painting yesterday and I made myself a coffee and I'd barely touched it by the end of the painting. The thing that I've got to watch though is that so I've got my water cup to clean my paintbrushes and stuff. I need to make sure that I don't put the paintbrush in my coffee by accident. Thankfully, I've not done that yet, but it's only a matter of time. The more you practice, the better your skills will get, Chris. The most important thing is that you enjoy the process, just as you said. But I see natural talent. Thank you very much, Donna. Thank you. That's sweet. A nice side effect of the creative endeavour. Yeah, exactly. I also found I use different vocabulary with my different dogs. Right, okay. Okay. Hi, Kathy. I did made a matching set of 3. You did. You were able to make them. Oh, I see. So you had 4 bracelets that were too tight, and you've made them into 3 bracelets that fit. Is that what you're saying? I think I understand now. Sorry. Um, yeah, I thought that you were saying you're making 4 bracelets. You've made 3 of them already, but they didn't fit. But I think I understand now. Donna says, "Yep, Chris, have almost dipped my brush in my tea a time or two myself." Yeah, yeah, I've got to. I should have my drink at a separate part of the table than my paintbrush water. So I should, because your paint water gets like absolutely bogging. So it does. It gets really like thick really fast. The dog's in and out and in and out. Yeah, let me show you some more. So this next one was the one that I'm talking about that I did last night. And this didn't take long at all. I spent less than an hour on this. So let me zoom a bit. So again, this is just an online tutorial, a YouTube tutorial. But I love cherry blossom trees, and so does my husband. He loves them as well. So that's and I've never kind of drawn a waterfall before, and I thought it was going to be more challenging than what it was. Actually, it's actually turned out to be, not that bad. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with this. I feel as though I'm not sure if it's blurring a bit. But yeah, this one isn't as big as the bigger canvases, just because it was just meant to be a wee quick thing that I threw together. But I'm quite pleased with it. I love the colours. The kind of pinks are beautiful, and I love the kind of a light blues of the water. I think it's turned out really nice. Twing says, "I nearly drank the paint water one night." Yeah, be careful not to do that. Tea staining is a legitimate artistic technique. Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. I could always use the coffee or the tea that I dip my paintbrush into paint. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, guys. I started with acrylics and migrated to watercolor, which is now my favourite medium, says Donna. Right, okay, that's interesting. See, I was looking at it was a YouTube video, I think, recently, and it was someone who was talking about the acrylics and oils versus watercolor. I was talking about how with acrylics are much easier medium because, well, they're easier than oil because they dry a lot faster. Like, that is one of the things about acrylics, is they dry very, very fast, and you can even blow dry. You can use your blow dryer to make them dry even faster, instantaneously. Which means that you can do all your different layers. It doesn't take that long to do a painting. Whereas with the oils, a painting can take like a day, a week to dry properly. It can, I think, it takes about 6 months to a year for it to properly cure. And who has that time, So that's the thing about oils, but because they don't dry fast, it's a lot easier to work with blending colours. When it comes to watercolour, what this person was saying is that, so with acrylics, you can obviously kind of work whatever order you want. You can do your darks first and then your lights. So you can maybe see here that in this waterfall, I kind of did the background of it black. You can kind of still see some of it showing through, and that's just kind of obviously underneath a waterfall, you're going to have like the black stone is the effect I was going for. So you can kind of see that through, and then I've obviously kind of let that dry and then gone over it with the kind of a light blue and the whites. And because it's acrylic, I can do that. I think with watercolor, you have to be much more strategic about your lights and your darks, and I think you need to work from light to dark. So yeah, I think from that point of view, watercolor seems to me anyway to be a lot more challenging. So I don't know if it's something that appeals to me right now, but you know what they say, never say never. I would be overly chuffed. Thank you, Tony. Semi-abstract, freer painting, yeah. Yeah, it's nice to just like have like wee paintings that you can do. I can't remember the name of the chat. I should really, in fact, I can check it just now. But it's a channel that has kind of a playlists for like 10-minute paintings. So the boy's name's Ryan O'Rourke, and his channel is called Stay Creative Painting with Ryan O'Rourke. I will put a link to it in the chat. So yeah, definitely check him out, especially if you're a painter and you kind of like doing this kind of a stuff. This was from one of his 10-minute tutorials, and he's got like lots and lots of other ones. So yeah, check it out. Watercolor is very portable, which I love. Yeah, I suppose you can just do that anywhere. My new bracelets are pink and blue, lovely. You can use, oh gosh, gouache. How do you? I don't know how to pronounce that. I've seen the word and I knew it was a type of paint, but I don't know how to say it. Gouache. Let's go with gouache until someone tells me differently. It's opaque watercolor. Okay, so you can do dark to light on that. It's a different technique to acrylic for sure. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? It's just all different techniques. Before June, I didn't really dabble in art at all. So this was a big change for me. So no doubt, through time I'll try different things. I love the idea of trying charcoal, which I know is random and is completely different, but just something that really appeals to me about it. Gouache. So I would say so gouache. Gouache. We'll go with gouache. Is that right? Oh, what else have we got here? Oh, do you want to see my very first painting I did? Whilst we're still on the topic of Star Wars. So this was my very, very first painting. So yeah, me and Sandy decided that whilst we were off for the week, as one of our dates, we would kind of get a bottle of wine and paint something. And I decided to do a picture of Darth Maul, because Darth Maul is Sandy's favourite Star Wars character. And I was so this was the first one I done. It wasn't a tutorial, I was just copying a painting. But I'll be honest, I was a wee bit chuffed with myself. Like, obviously it it's not perfect, and the face could use a lot of work. But I was quite happy with how the the cloak turned out. Just with the way that the red light shines on the cloak. I was happy with the hand. It started out really bad, but I managed to fix it, to save it. Similarly with the lightsaber hilt, it started out a bit of a dog's dinner, but I managed to save it. So yeah, I was quite pleased with that. Jeffrey says the Knight of Wands. Potentially, I guess. But yeah. So yeah, this was a wee painting that I did for my husband. So we need to, and still need to kind of get it framed, and we can put it up at his desk or something. That's if he wants to. But yeah, I just thought I would share some stuff with you. So I didn't really have much else to chat about or to get into, to be honest with you. I didn't do a kind of a turning the tarot on its head subject this week, just because I thought, let's just get together and have a wee chat, and yeah, let's just catch up. I've just seen Janine. Hi, Janine. Oh my God, being on Ryan's YouTube, what the hell? They look like photos. Well, yeah, he's really good, isn't he? He's brilliant, really, really good, and he's been doing it a long time. Yeah, I have got the. Did anyone see my walkthrough of the Unfolding Path Tarot? I think I did that last week, maybe. So I pulled this out, and I thought that if I'm doing any readings, I would do it with this. Does this need shuffled? I think it's already shuffled. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty much shuffled. We'll shuffle it whilst we're chatting. But yeah, any questions, pop them in the chat, and I will pull cards from the Unfolding Path. Why was it? What was I talking? Yeah, so I pre-ordered. No, I didn't pre-order. Yeah, I pre-ordered this from Amazon. But then afterwards, I realised I should have got it from Oneness Emporium. So I got my first Oneness Emporium package, which I think I did another video for, and got my light seers in a tin. So I'm delighted with this. The cardstock is really nice. It's a bit nicer than the cardstock of the the normal size one, to be honest. It's kind of a bit more matte, a bit softer, and less laminated. But yeah, I mean, I said it during the video, but just the quality of the packages that you get from Oneness Emporium is brilliant. And I've seen that Simon has Cheryl from Oneness Emporium on his channel this weekend. I think it's this weekend. Pretty sure it's at the 26th. And he's interviewing her. He's doing a catching up with her. So I'm really excited for that. I really hope that I'm able to watch it all, because that will be one to not miss. So it will. Right, if anyone has any questions, please pop them in the chat. It feels like we've got to readings dead quick this week. It's probably because I didn't have anything prepared to chat about. I just had some paintings to show. I do have some other paintings here, but we can show them another time. Sorry, I was just checking my messages. Chat's gone dead. What's going on, people? Is this because I've started shuffling cards? Everybody's like scattered, like I don't know, like wee scattery things. You are still allowed to be here in chat whilst I'm doing readings and shuffling cards. By the way, you don't all need to disappear. I'm just kidding. I don't mind a small crowd. And I don't mind if we just end up chatting, and if we don't do readings, I'm quite happy just to sit and shuffle. But chat to me. What has been the highlight of everyone's week? Tell me, what's been the highlight of your week? Why is Marita waiting with bated breath? Hey, Jonathan's asked, can I get a reading on how to be... Let me say this again. So, Jonathan says, can I get a reading on how I can be of service to my community? What was that? The Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords flying out the deck whilst I'm shuffling, Jonathan, makes me think that it's to do with it's like speaking, rather than maybe actually doing something, like as in taking physical action. It's more about advocating or speaking out about something, maybe even teaching. Do you know what I mean? I just feel as though you're using your you're using communication, or communication is going to be a lot more powerful to how you serve the community, as opposed to your kind of a sacral chakra like physical output, if that makes sense. Let's actually pull some actual cards for it though. So how can Jonathan be of service to his community? Okay, we've got Five of Cups, Seven of Pence, and the Temperance card. Jonathan, you need to wait until the time is right. You need to wait until you're in a position where you can actually be of service. Okay, don't try and burn the candle at both ends, and don't try and don't like if like we obviously all need to push ourselves, and I'm not necessarily saying that's a bad thing. But what I don't, or what this seems to be getting at, is you need to wait until you're in the right headspace and heart space to be able to help. And this 7 potentially indicates like that. That maybe means waiting for the right time. Wait until you're better. Wait until you're kind of feeling better in yourself and you're recovered in terms of like your, whatever it is. You said you're not feeling great just now. Whether that's COVID symptoms, whether that's whatever it might be. But for me, it's about waiting for the right time. And Temperance kind of just continues that message. It's it's finding that balance. It's it's doing what's right at the right time. That seems to be the overriding message here. That night flying out when the time is right. Like I say, I feel as though it's it's communicating. It's advocating, it's speaking to people, it's putting, it's conveying knowledge and ideas and stuff like that, rather than, I don't think, for example, that it's going out and like building houses or anything like that. It's not something as physical as that. I feel like it's more kind of a speaking to the community, speaking to people like, people can learn from, what you've learned, and they can learn from your experiences and stuff. So there's a few things to bear in mind, but I'll say it again, and I'll end on it just because it's the most important thing. You need to wait until the time is right. You need to wait until you're in a position where you actually can help, because I can't have you, going out and making yourself worse, making yourself ill, just for the sake of trying to, trying to be of service to someone else, because what's going to happen is you kind of you burn the candle at both ends. You end up making yourself worse. Then you're not even in a position to help anyone. You've lessened your position to help people. So it's important that you kind of give yourself that space to heal. Okay. So that was Jonathan. So you were all waiting with bated breath. Can I get a general for now until the end of the year? Okay. So we're just finishing up August, so 9, 10, 11, 12. Why don't we pull a card for each month and see what kind of a thing we get then, Donna? So we riffle shuffle just to reset things. Okay. Okay. Movement. Like, are you moving house or something? Wait, Donna, was it you that said you were in France for the next 3 months? Because I'm getting movement, I'm getting travel. Like each one of these cards means like movement or travel or change of location. We've got the Six of Swords, which is like movement over water. You've got the Knight of Wands, which is like, lots and lots of fire energy, lots of movement. And then you've got the Eight of Wands, which is pretty much the same. It's that kind of a riding that high fire energy. So there's lots of movement certainly in the next 3 months. Getting a wee bit of balance back at the end of the year in December because you've got that kind of that Six of Pentacles, so that almost feels like a bit calmer, bit of a calmer energy. It's balancing out all of the kind of a high energy stuff that's been happening, that's going to happen over the next 3 months. We're going to see that kind of a settle down, and it's almost like you're getting back for everything that you've given, if that makes sense. Also remember December's Christmas time. We tend to kind of get, we see it's a more generous time of the year, if you want to put it that way. So definitely lots of kind of a generous vibes around about us at that time. But really enjoying the kind of a progression of the cards here. We start off with that Six of Swords, which is like Six of Swords feels like you're moving to a different place. Often it can be like more of a talking about mentally, psychologically. It's kind of a moving to a better place. That's what we think about with the Six of Swords. It's like things have been tough and I'm moving to calmer waters. I'm taking myself out of here and I'm taking myself to a place where, I can chill. I can kind of almost reset a wee bit. But this very much is usually kind of in response to something negative. The next two cards, however, feel as though they're really kind of getting the positives out of the change that's being made. Okay, so still talking about change and movement, but they're much happier, much more positive, much more energetic cards. Okay, so the way that I would read this is I would say, potentially things have been tough. Okay, because we see that Six of Swords. If you even look at the coloration of that Six of Swords, it starts off with this cloudy, dark, it's a kind of a horrible dark energy there, but she's moving away from that and into this beautiful kind of like sunny, beautiful blue seas, blue skies, and it feels as though it just kind of gets better and better from there. So that's going to be a high energy 3 months, but in a very kind of a increasingly positive way. And then like feeling all the love in December. That's kind of a general terms what I would see there. Movement probably starting in October, right? Okay, so maybe this is more kind of a getting yourself ready mentally, psychologically for it, Donna. Brilliant, okay. Well, I am glad that resonates and I hope it was helpful. That was why I could only watch with one eye last week, because you had your cataract surgery. Okay, and how are you doing now, Debbie? Are you? Is it? I think my gran had something like that, but I can't remember whether it's a kind of a quick something that you recover quickly from, or is it something that you're still kind of working through? But either way, I hope that you're kind of doing okay. Highlight is husband and I signed papers on a house today. Oh, there we go. That'll be the movement and the change. Let's see. Jeffrey says, I would love a reading on what's going on in general for me. What's going on and will things improve? How can I make that happen, etc. Okay, let's have a wee look. Again, we'll do another wee riffle shuffle. I feel like riffle shuffling, it just like resets the deck. You know? Okay, so we're going to get a general reading for Jeffrey on stuff that's going on. Will it get better? And can I influence it? Okay. Right, okay, so this is the general situation with the Eight of Swords. You know, a feeling of being trapped, a feeling of just almost being stuck in one place and kind of stuck in a bit of a negative space. I mean, you can see it in the image. You can see it in even the kind of when you look at the coloration, look at the color progression through the reading. This feels like it's a dark energy, but you know, we've got twinkly stars in there. You know, it's not like beyond hope. It's not absolutely awful. And with the Eight of Swords, the message usually is like we've got the power to remove ourselves from this situation. What I would say here, do you see how she's kind of clutching onto the blades of these swords? So what I want to say here is, like, see if you stand up, you can actually remove the swords by the hilts. Why would you not do that rather than touching the blades? Because you're going to end up hurting. Like, if you're trying to yank those swords out of that ground, like, think how much she's going to hurt herself doing that. So it's like she's got the right idea and that she's trying to remove the swords. She's trying to remove herself from this situation, but she's just going the wrong way about it. She's going about it in such a way that it's going to hurt her. Okay. So I want to say, and similarly, obviously, Jeffrey, this is for you. I want to say, like, the plan of action you've got in your head, or like the ends, you know, where you want to be, that you've kind of got a good grasp of like where you need to be, but I want you to kind of rethink just how you're planning on getting there, because there's a way that you can do this where it doesn't necessarily need to be a painful process for you, you know. I think it's just about rethinking things a wee bit, and that leads nicely into the advice card, which is the Fool, wiping the slate clean. You know, remove everything from, you know, like, forget what you think you know about the situation and just come at it with a fresh set of eyes, a fresh mind. You know, if you're far too deep into it where you just can't do that, then ask someone else, ask a friend, someone that you trust. You know, go for a wee coffee or go for a couple of bottles of wine. And just chat through it with them. Get someone else's perspective on the situation, someone who doesn't have any vested interest in it, and see what they think. And you'll probably find that it'll kind of almost, it'll really help just in that. It'll bring a completely new perspective to it. The outcome, though, is this beautiful Two of Cups. It almost feels like a fairy tale, doesn't it? It feels like the person's our protagonist starts off trapped and sad, and in this difficult space. They go through this journey, the fool's journey, where it's all about being carefree. It's about throwing caution to the wind. We see them going on their adventure, where they do something that they wouldn't otherwise have done, and then in the end, they kind of they find their true happiness. They find in this image it looks like a soulmate, but they find what it is that they've been looking for, and that fulfillment. So Jeffrey, you're going to get there. I don't have any doubt about that. Looking at these cards, I guess the only advice that I would say to you is don't be grabbing the blade. Don't be grabbing the swords with the blades when you can do it with the handles. Think about how you're going about things, and is there maybe a way that you can go about it where you're being tactful and you're not causing yourself more pain than you have to. So I hope that's helpful. Okay. Yeah, Red Wings wishing Donna well on her move. Yeah, Donna, I hope that your move does go well. Janine asks, what good quality do I have that I need to share with others or show more? I've got the sun here. When I was shuffling, the judgment card popped out to me. So I've got this. I've got the sun and judgment in my mind. Now, the sun makes me think of just being that really joyous and happy energy that people can really feed off of and they get a lot from. I think we all need those kind of a sun people in our lives. Yeah, one of my best friends is, in fact, most of the people in my life that I surround myself with are kind of they do have this really positive, happy, just a really nice energy to be around. There's been times in the past when I've maybe more surrounded myself with, negativity. And as a result of that, I feel as though I become quite negative, and I feel as though it just can be quite toxic when I'm around that. So yeah, for me personally, I like to kind of try and emulate this energy, and I like to have people like this around me. Very kind of positive, very happy. Like remember, the sun is where it's not just all about being like kind of a needlessly chirpy. It's not like that. The sun is like the light of truth, so you are able to kind of see, and that this is kind of comes into like where judgment pops out. You're able to see the truth in things. You're able to kind of expose the bullshit and see something for what it is, and really kind of see deeply into it, see it to its core. All right. You've got a really good kind of a perception of things. You've got, the way that you perceive things strikes me as being, really, you've just kind of like got a way of like seeing past the bullshit in life and seeing things for what they are or what they potentially could be. Your positive energy, as well. It motivates you, but it also motivates other people. And I think you potentially underestimate how much people appreciate that about you. So definitely that. So yeah, I hope that resonates, and I hope that's helpful. I can see you've asked what cards these are. This is the Unfolding Path Tarot by Athene Noctua. Okay. I'm glad that was helpful, Jonathan. Oh, excuse me. I'm running away. Moving probably starting in October. So it's Donna. Robin says lovely colours, autumn cards. They are quite nice colours. I love how they've got this kind of a watercolour-y looking background to them. Yeah, I think these cards are beautiful. There's that Judgment card, by the way. That's what I was talking about. Donna says, was totally exhausted after helping clear out my mum's house in June and July. Right, okay. So that's the Six of Swords. That's the kind of the implication from the Six of Swords then. That makes sense. Looking forward to your own move so much more. Debbie says, doing well. It's weird. I looked up at the moon last night and there was only one. Haven't seen only one moon in over a year. Oh, wow. Oh, well, that's good then. That's really positive. Kathy says, I'd love a reading on what's coming up. I have a job offer that's pending relevant social work checks, DBS, etc. It's all in hand. Is my autumn looking up and breaking free of the stagnant energy? Okay, so let's see what's coming up. There's that stagnant energy that you're talking about. Okay. So, like, if we want to look at this as kind of a past, present, future, or like basis, the past of the basis, but Four of Cups. So we're kind of seeing that bit turned off, stagnant energy. Starting out with that there, but then that's kind of a feeding into this kind of a like you couldn't get a bigger contrast. We've got the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is like the king of charisma. He's it's just everyone wants to be around the King of Wands. There's enthusiasm, there's high energy, there's passion, sexuality. Everything about the King of Wands is like you feel really at home in your own power. So there's a massive change from what you were feeling before to what you're feeling now. And we can really see that. As to where that's going, we do have the Moon card. Okay, now that's not necessarily a negative thing. The Moon can leave us feeling a bit, like for me, this is about being in unfamiliar spaces. So in terms of like you've said that you're kind of you're hopefully starting a new job soon. And that is going to put you in an unfamiliar space. It's maybe going to leave you feeling a wee bit like you don't know what's happening. You feel as though you're in Twilight Zone, that kind of a thing, almost like a surreal type feeling. But with that moon energy, it's all about just getting used to it. It's about accepting it, not trying to change it back to what it was. And and this is, it's a thing that we as humans kind of tend to do. We fall into old patterns. We try and kind of reverse the process back to what we know, even if what we know we weren't happy with. It's almost like that better the devil you know kind of attitude. Um, it's it's really interesting. Like in I think it's 78 Degrees of Wisdom, Rachel talks when she describes the Celtic Cross. You know how the ninth card is generally hopes and fears. She says that, you know, some people will, like, if it's a positive card, they'll see that as the hopes, or if it's a negative card, they'll see that as the fears. But she talks about how, like, usually our hopes and fears are like two sides of the same coin. And that's all to do with our makeup. You know, we generally tend to fear our own success because it represents change. And generally we tend to kind of resist and fear change. Um, where was I going with that? Because I was talking about the moon energy. So, you know, as much as it's going to feel unfamiliar, the key is to get used to the new kind of a way of being, relax into that moon energy, and that's what's going to kind of take you forwards. You know, once you relax into it, you get used to it, you get familiar with your surroundings, and you submit to the new rules. That's when you can really draw on the power of the moon. And kind of don't try and almost reverse back to this. I mean, fours are all about stability, so we had stability here, but you know, you've described it yourself as stagnant. You don't want to reverse back to the stagnant energy. So what I would say is, in terms of what's coming up, you might find yourself feeling a wee bit uncomfortable, a wee bit unsettled, but go with it. Because if you can, like, almost learn to wield that as your new superpower, then that's going to kind of take you forward. So yeah, I hope that helps, Kathy. I'm trying to think. I'm looking at your question just to see if there's anything else that you've said that I feel like this reading touches on. Yeah, are we breaking free of the stagnant energy? I think we definitely are. We've gone from this to this. Even that fiery king in the middle. So yeah, definitely. I think we're definitely breaking free from that stagnant energy. Your job is to not revert back to it, because it's comfortable and because it's what you know. So yeah, that's what I would say, and I do hope that helps. Jeffrey, okay, so that's helped then. I'm glad. I'm really glad. I hope that it's been helpful. Tony says, Marjorie the dog is a bit unwell with raised CRP. She fancies seeing if she'll perk up soon. Back to her usual self. We're waiting on test results from the vet. Sure, let's see what the cards say. Oh, what queen's that? Queen of... That's the Queen of Wands. Can't see the one for looking at it. Got the King of Pentacles. Two of Swords. Okay. You might have some decisions to make, Tony, is what I'm going to say. That King of Pentacles, to me, I mean, right, the Queen of Wands, we see her with her familiar, okay? We see her with her cat, we see her with her familiar. She's got a smile on her face. So I don't like feel like, you know, I don't feel like anything terrible is on the horizon, but there are some decisions. You might have to put your hand in your pocket a wee bit. Whatever, maybe you'll need, or maybe she'll need some medication or, just something to kind of help her along. It's maybe going to cost a wee bit more than what you perhaps anticipated it would. But the Two of Swords indicates, there's some decisions to be made, there's some choices there. So yeah, an answer to your question, will she pick back up soon, back to usual self? I don't really see anything here that's indicating whether or not she's going to be back to her usual self. I almost feel like, I'm sorry, I've not really answered your question there, but there's at least some information there. It, maybe it's not. Maybe you won't, but at least if it does, then you'll be a wee bit more prepared than, because I've had to fork out money at the vets, and it can be quite surprising sometimes. It can give you a wee bit of a shock. The cost of things that they charge you for dogs, just for medication and stuff. But if you've got it insured, then that's something to look into. So that's all kind of in line with that King of Pentacles, just being sensible and having sight of all of your kind of options and stuff. So yeah, I hope that Marjorie's doing okay and everything turns out all right. Janine says, bang on, I've got good intuition with people. People say that I notice things that others don't notice, and people seem to find me amusing. Oh, that's good. Yeah, with the Judgment card, it's kind of like seeing things for what they truly are. It's like, if you know the analogy of Plato's cave, or even sometimes I like to liken it to being unplugged from the Matrix. If you've seen the film The Matrix, it's almost like that you're in the Matrix before they've unplugged you. Do you know what I mean? You're able to kind of perceive things that maybe other people aren't able to perceive. Can't stand bullshitters either, so always stand up for others. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. You're very welcome. That's helpful and really insightful. Thank you so much. I understand your advice. Good, Kathy. I'm glad. I'm really glad. Food for thought here, Chris. Yeah. Yeah, £300 so far, no insurance. I'm betting they suggest X-ray or MRI next. Yeah, it's expensive, isn't it? You're so welcome. Okie dokes. Well, have we got any more for any more? Last orders at the bar. Shall I just pull a wee card for us for the weekend? I've really enjoyed using this deck. I feel as though we're getting quite, it's speaking to me. So maybe we have got a contender for the Light Seers' position. It's funny, the Three of Swords sort of flew out the deck there when I said that. Right, I'm not seeing any more chat, so I'm just going to pull a card for the weekend for everyone. So is anyone else off the long weekend? Is anyone else off on Monday? Oh, thank you, Donna. I'm glad. Okay, let's get a wee card for everyone for the weekend. Oh, that Queen of Wands again. So this is all about relaxing into your own confidence, The Queen of Wands is like the celebrity of the tarot deck. She's the one that when she walks into the room, the heads turn and everyone listens to see what she's got to say. Everyone wants to know what's going on with her. Everyone just genuinely finds her a really interesting person, She's like that kind of that friend who's always got an interesting story to tell. but not like kind of a like. There's no obnoxiousness about her. She's got that kind of a Leo energy where she's just comfortable being the center of attention, and she kind of manages to wield it really well. And she strikes that balance between being interesting and not being too kind of in your face about it. Um, the familiar suggests like kind of that she's surrounded by magic, she's protected. The kind of the forces of nature respond to her. All right. So how can we put that all into kind of into advice? I think be aware of the forces that are going on around about you that are helping you. Okay. Um, and taking advantage of that. I think just be a bit more confident in yourself this weekend. If something comes up, if an opportunity comes up, and you kind of in your own head, your choices are to go for it and be confident and just put yourself out there for once, or to clam up and to maybe just just let someone else take the limelight or whatever it might be. Go for the more bold option this weekend, because you'll probably find that it will work out well both for you and for everyone around about you. You've really got something to that people can benefit from, and that you've got something to share. So go for it this weekend. Be confident. Be your true, authentic self. And yeah, just kind of, I suppose, just grab that energy by the horns this weekend. Tony saying I knew it once you'd used it. Seems like the readings have been. Oh, sorry, I saw that. 5 days on call starts tomorrow. 13-hour shifts. Oh gosh, that's not good. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I've just done my 4 days, so I'm off tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and then back to work on Tuesday. Okay, well, guys, I'm going to love yous and leave yous. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate everyone's kind words about the readings. I appreciate all your questions. I appreciate everyone's support regarding my artwork as well. That's really nice to use. Have a great weekend. Take care, and I shall see you all later. Bye bye.